hello.
Hello, hello.
And again, welcome to the messy middle.
With Jeanette and Allison.
We're dorks, we know. Welcome, hello. So we debated having a dance party with you all. And then smart Jeanette realized that our video would get taken down because of the music rights. So we had a dance party without you all. And we highly recommend going and having one.
And I'm going to post a video that we danced to in the comments. So that way you can just feel light and free. And yeah.
Yes, do it. Do it. Cool. Okay, well, we're here, the messy middle. Sometimes we actually go a little off already. But sometimes in the beginning of our meetings, we will do like a fun question or something like that. I'm going to put you on the spot. Can you think of a fun random question?
Are you done with, oh no, hold on. What was the least favorite Christmas gift you've ever gotten, or holiday gift, or whatever you're celebrating?
Okay, this was not the least favorite ever, but this was one where I learned that you're not supposed to say, I don't like that after you get a gift when I was little, because I believe I was 4 and I got a sweater from my great grandmother and it was green and had Tigger on it. And I loved Pooh at the time. And I don't know why I didn't like it, but I didn't. And she said, do you like it? And I said, no. And my mom was like, was worried. I don't know why I didn't like it, but I learned after that you just say thank you even if you don't like
it. Mine was a My Size Barbie. I wanted a My Size Barbie like hardcore. And they got me an off-brand one. It was not My Size Barbie. It was my fun friend Jenny or whatever her name was. And she wasn't my size. She was too small. I was so bad.
Well, it's funny. I think it's funny that it's both when we were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it matters more than maybe too.
Yeah, I could care less now.
Okay, cool. Hello. So what's working, what's not working, and how we're moving forward. So we have a few things that we know of just like off the top of our heads that we thought about right before, and of what's working, what's not working. We thought it would be fun to decide how we're moving forward live here with you. So that's what we're going to do. So what's working for me is bust and burnout. So last week and maybe even the week before, I had talked about how burnout is so very real over here right now. And there's just a lot going on in life, not only business, but life too. And, you know, we talk about balance or whatever. And I think for me, I wouldn't have, if I was still like just head down burnout, I wouldn't have even thought about having a dance party this morning. Ooh. But I'm very consciously making choices to bust my burnout. And also some of those choices mean, okay, I have 5 minutes before I need to go pick up the kids. I'm going to lay in bed. And that's not going to clean the house before they get home. That's not going to do all the things that I would love to do before they get home. That is just for me, for my mentality, for my well-being, for my body. I am like at the end of this sickness now, yay. And making those like conscious decisions have been huge. Really, really, really big. So that's what's working.
Yeah. I love that, especially because we're kind of no nonsense people. I don't know if you guys know this, but like to like consciously stop and be like, I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to move my body and dance because it feels good.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a hard decision at first, especially in the burnout mentality and in the mentality of like, I have so much to do. And that's part of like how I got burnt out. And all of these things that feel so important, that feel so heavy, that all of that, and to choose, it can wait. I'm gonna dance. Yeah, it's important though.
Do you watch Grey's Anatomy?
Yes, but I'm not caught up right now.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. But you remember how like back in the day, Christina and Meredith just used to like have
Yes.
tequila and get drunk? I
Yes.
love that.
Dance.
Love.
Dancing it
We're
out.
gonna dance it out.
But would they call it dance parties? What would they call it?
They would just say we're gonna dance it out. They wouldn't say dance party. They would just say dance it out.
They had something though. But yes, okay, yes. Dance it out. I've been doing it lately. The past 3 days, I've been dancing every single morning. It's been great.
Oh, that's good, girl. That's good. I
It's
need
fun.
to do that more often.
Yeah. Just put it on. Okay, you.
For me, it's like what's working is asking for feedback, asking
Yeah.
for another set of eyes, asking for somebody to take a look at things that I am like blind to, you know. You know those Febreze commercials, they're like, you're nose blind. I am nose blind. I'm eye blind to like the things that we are putting out as far as like our website and our like different landing pages that we have, because I'm so in it. And you know me, I always have that thing where I'm like, everybody knows what I'm thinking. Everybody knows what I know. And nobody actually does.
Hey, pause. You have worked on that a lot this year and
I have
huge changes and differences. So yes, call it out, but there's been large change happening.
Yeah, but it still happens. I'm getting better at it. I will say I am getting better at it, but it still happens. So like, I'm like having somebody say, hey, what does this actually mean to you versus what do you actually mean is helpful. Because I want to make sure that when I'm speaking words, because words have meaning, that it's clear what we are offering, what we're selling, who we are as people. And I think that when you watch us on video, it's different than on a page. It's a very different vibe.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's why actually, I mean, side note, people are moving in the video direction. So you'll go to somebody's website and it'll be a video. Even if there's no sound, there's like video, motion, whatever. I do think that's the direction that everybody's going in.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Maybe we should put one of these on the front. I don't know. Maybe some of our
we'll pick some of our clips.
Our bloopers.
Yeah. Yeah, so asking for feedback. I've loved that you have put it out there to different people. So sometimes it's like an individual person, but sometimes it's a group, like our mastermind. You threw our page in the mastermind too to get feedback from a group of people as well. Awesome.
And they know us very intimately. And so it was nice to see their version of what is happening. We also had like a brand lady take a look at it, and they're like, from a branding perspective, on point. Like it's very clear, it's precise. Like I like the way the letters look at the different fonts and everything. It's like, it's easy to read. It's not too cluttery. It's clear. There's another word she used, clean, something along those lines, a very like polished looking. But the messy middle is like that messy cursive, which is fun because it's not perfect. Which is why I love Kate Spade, because like you see her polka dots, but they're not even polka dots. It's off. It's like an off pattern. So from far away, you're like, ooh, that's real nice. And you're like, that's kind of messed up. But that to me is who I am. Okay.
That's funny. It's funny that you notice those types of things. I don't know that I do.
Really? You don't notice that they're like not actually polka dots?
No.
Oh my gosh, they are not. And it is like,
but that's special. That's cool.
It is. It's like cringe, but in a good way, because you're like, I like that you are so put together that you purposely are imperfect.
Cringe in a good way. We can
yeah. So like I was having some feedback on like all sorts of different places from different people. And I realized that sometimes it's okay to be a little cringy. Like, I feel like sometimes people think that the messy middle might be a little cringy because we're talking about, we haven't made money in a while. We're not perfect. I am not your savior. I am not Jesus. That is not my name. That's not who we're going to be. We are people who have made mistakes, who are doing this, who are trying to get it right. So if you want to come on the journey with us, let's go. But if you don't, that's also okay. Go to the person who's pretending to be fake, who's going to tell you that they're going to sell you a river out of this little piece of ice. Like, I'm never going to do that.
Well, I think what we're used to as a society is seeing people who are pretending that everything is great, everything's going well, every single launch of mine is doing perfect. That's why you want to hire me, because I can help you do the same thing. And as a society, as a group of people, that is what we expect now, because that is what has always been portrayed. But if you look into history, which I won't dive into, I swear, but if you look into history, people have been starting to become less perfect and less fake literally since like the 50s, maybe before that, but that's what I think of. And when you really start to think about what people want, it's the truth. Now, do we need to dive into, I don't know, messy parts of our life? I don't know. No, but we can still be telling the truth about our business and also say we also were very successful. So even though right now it's the messy middle for us, we still have skills. We still have like success that we left behind on purpose because we wanted to follow our heart and do actually what we wanted to do. So if you are having success and not happy, you could work with us. If you are also having $0 months, we could work together and figure out why and walk this path with you. You know what I mean? Like, this could be repelling people, and also it will attract in the right community that is also going through this, that also needs this support.
I feel like it's almost like a dog whistle. Like the only people who are really going to hear it and be attracted to it are the people who need to hear it. And everybody else is going to be like, oh, that's an annoying sound. Oh, I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. Why are you doing this? Please stop. Fine. Look away. And that's fine with me. Like, because my truth, like, are the actual facts, the truth, is that's my duty. I feel like it's my duty to tell you the truth 100% of the time, to be transparent. And if that's a little bit cringy, that's fine. I'm not going to like show you my scars, like physical scars, but we can talk messy about business because it's life right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to show you the ins and outs of my marriage because that's my privacy, but and I'm not going to show you like the intimate details of the business of Peterson and Bell, but I will be okay with showing some pieces that are not perfect.
I mean, I say $0 months is pretty intimate, but
yeah.
We'll let some of the rest out. I think we are being a lot more transparent than we've seen. We're okay leading this change in the industry. We're okay being the people that people think, ooh, cringe. Oh, this is like, I can't believe they're actually talking about it right now. And also the people that they might come back to and be like, hey, I can actually trust you because you've told the truth all along.
Yes.
And yeah, we're okay doing that. So we also just thought we haven't talked about why we're being transparent, why we're doing this. And even though it might repel people, we're doing this because number one, it just feels right. Number two, if we could lead the change in the industry for people to start actually telling the truth or just not lie. Just like stop saying that you've had never had a failed launch, because everybody's had a failed launch, and normalizing the fact that it's okay if you do a launch and it doesn't work. We're not trying to normalize $0 in 8 months. That's not what we want.
Please, let's not do that. No.
But a failed launch is okay. People who have been successful and were successful, like us, can also then go into a $0 launch, and it is okay, and that is normal. And then you pick things up after that. So we're here to teach you about our messy middle. So hopefully your messy middle can be shorter,
less messy.
I
really feel like with us, we took like a hard pivot too. It wasn't like we just took like all right, we're going to marry these two things together with your business. Like that's what we want to help people with. But for us, it was, this is not working at all. And literally we feel like we're shooting all over the place. We should do this because it makes money. We should do this because we're good at it. We should honestly listen to our intuition. We should go into what we know is right for us. And then we did it. And this is the result of that right now. Right. And we know that the longer that we do this, the more successful it will be, because we are being honest, we are being transparent, and we actually want to change the world. This is not just like BSing anybody. And I love that for us, that we're doing something that most people would not do. I don't think most people would say, okay, we're going to just stop doing this multi-$1,000 a month thing.
Yeah.
Because our heart's not in it anymore.
Multiple 5-figure months.
Yes.
Stop after literally 2 months after our biggest month yet, because our heart wasn't in it. So enough about that. But this is why we're doing this. We've talked about, hey, we're going to be transparent. We're going to be talking about it, about our messy middle, but we never went into the why. So there we are. That's also what's working for us too, though, right?
Yes.
That is helping us connect with more people. We have been more connected in the past month, let's say, with our community and with people, and people sending us messages and having those deep conversations that we've been literally striving and really desiring to have in the last 8 months. We've had more of them in the last month since starting the messy middle than all the past 7.
Because we're just us.
Yeah. Okay. So what is not working? Pushing through. Like I talked about last week, pushing through it just never works. But I wanted to expand a little bit more. Pushing through and deciding, okay, that's not working. Don't want to push through anymore. That can be the start. But it doesn't mean that once you just decide that, you're like, okay, I'm not going to be pushing through anymore. Done. So what we realized in this past week, and more, but in this past week, is that the pushing through, we decided not to do it, but then the should started coming in again of like, okay, you're not pushing through, but you should at least do this, or you should at least do this. And they kept coming, honestly, especially for me. I don't know about for you, but there were a lot of shoulds coming in. And I think about it almost as like a test of like, okay, you decided not to push through. Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because you should do all of these things. Are you sure you're not going to push through? And I think I passed the test so far. I
feel like they're louder too. I don't know if that's what it is for you, but they're like, you should do this. You should do this. You should do this. You have to do this. Like, I don't have to do that. And it freaks me out.
Yeah.
And then I'm like on Marco Polo with Allison saying, I think we should do all this. And I'm like about to cry. And she's like, do you actually think that? Or are you just saying that? Like, she was like, I'm not even going to entertain this. Wait, no, I need to like, are you actually saying this is what you want to do? Or are you just having like, she didn't say meltdown, but she was like, are you actually having a thing? I was like, yeah, I think I'm just having a thing. This is not
I did actually tell her that I was not going to entertain that class. But it's good to talk through. And I think that's also, community, best friend, whoever, work people, whoever you need to talk to if you're deciding to slow down, if you're making any sort of decision, if you're deciding to launch, if you're deciding to slow down, if you're deciding anything, and then you're having all of these other like shoulds or things come in, talk to somebody about it. It can be us. I'd be happy to do that.
So game.
Yeah. But it can also be anyone else, and just be like, I decided to do this, and then all of these thoughts came in, and just talk through it. The other person can talk if they want, but honestly, if you just talk through it, you'll come to your own answer.
Yeah. And that's why she's a great coach, because she listens, and then we'll like be like, let's be real. Let's be, I'm like, oh yeah, you're right.
I love how many ideas you can come up with too, because when I'm with somebody, when I'm talking with somebody, some ideas come up and flow. But you're like, what about this, and this? Like, what ones? And for some people too, that's helpful, because if they're just spinning and they're like, this is my only way, this is the only thing that I can do, coming up with some of those other possibilities are like, whoa, I have options. Okay.
Yes. I'm like, I'm the queen of options. There's got to be another way around this. I can't.
Yeah. So it's not working. Pushing through and shoulds coming up. Yeah.
Shoulds
I guess
not working.
I'm going to start with how. So we're going to work through like how we're moving forward now. How we're moving forward with the shoulds. I don't know. I talk through them.
And I also think like especially with some of the feedback I was getting that I was asking for on the website, I am going to take them all, like I'm going to pull them all together, take them with a grain of salt. And is this actually what I want to do to move forward? Or is this something that somebody's coming to me out of love? Because most of the time that's what it is, out of love, but not for me right now. And then just putting it to the side and being okay with that and not worry about letting somebody down, because that's what always happens is I feel like I should do this not to let somebody down.
Mhm.
And it's like letting myself down though. Like it's letting Peterson and Bell, the business, down if I'm not like authentic to that. So I'm going to go through all of those and just take them one by one with a grain of salt. Is this good for me? Is this not good for me? And like open my eyes to the possibilities of changing words, feelings on the website, et cetera, and going from there. Really taking a pause on shoulds, like just objectively looking at them.
Mm-hmm. I think as you were saying that, it reminded me how important it is to know who you are as a person, to know who you are as a business, to be able to take these outside thoughts in. Oh, this is big. This is actually kind of big. To be able to take those outside thoughts in and move forward with them objectively. The bigger part of this is that actually is very important when it comes to coaching as a whole. If you are having coaches tell you thoughts and opinions with love, right? On how they think you should move forward or whatever. If you don't know who you are and if you don't know who your business is, then you could get lost in all of the shoulds and all of the other opinions like we've talked about in the past, because you don't have that core, that stable core. Interesting.
I think that takes I would say a long time to get, but I would say that it takes a lot of intentional time thinking about and deciding those things for you, yourself, and your business.
Yeah, and they're separate.
Yes.
They are separate.
Yes. You are not your business.
I had mine, muddled and together for a very long time. I think right before we got together, I finally had like fully separated them. Yeah. And then I was able to, as we got together, continue with them separated and like work on myself and the business and who we are too. I think one thing for me was it was hard for me to figure out what they looked like separately, myself and the business, because especially as a coach or a service provider or something like that, you are the business. That is the business. Right. But those words can be confusing because in reality, you're not, right? You are the one running the business. You are the one doing the work in the business, but the business is not you.
I think especially as like Enneagram 3s, like I find my worth in the business.
Yeah.
Oh, this is something that I was going to say earlier that I totally forgot about, that like with us acknowledging, because we're Enneagram 3s, finally acknowledging and looking our situation in the face and being like, okay, we are actually in this uncomfortable, yucky place. Now I can actually get out of it. I'm not denying it anymore. And I'm not my business. This is not a bearing on who I am as a person or the things that I bring to the table in the business. This is just the business and the season that the business is in.
Right. And having those separately too. Honestly, yes. I think I had a relapse. Let's call it a relapse. A relapse in these thoughts. You saying this had me realize this because in this burnout, because I'm definitely still burnt out, in this burnout that I've been in, I think I like put them back together or something, because it was almost as if like the business was failing, right. All the fun, nice things for ourselves. And therefore I was failing. And then, all of these other pieces going on in my life, I'm like, oh my gosh, and how do I handle all of this? I need to remember to, okay, how I'm moving forward, separate. Yeah, I'm going to leave it like that because I'm going to have to like really sit and think on that. Yeah. I think that contributed to my burnout.
Yeah, I can see why that would. You are not Peterson and Bell.
Yes, but I am, but I'm not.
It is separate. It is its own entity.
Yes, which is kind of fun to think about too.
Yeah.
Okay. I think for me, that's how I'm burning, or no, that's how I'm working through my burnout in this next week is I only need a few things, and it's making sure that I'm acknowledging my burnout and moving forward with that. We had also talked about how in December I am going to do my like a burnout challenge for myself and just talk about and work through some of my burnout, go through different exercises and different things that help me. Dance parties every morning help. And figure that out. So that's definitely how I'm moving forward. I'm putting myself first, and that's it. Self first.
Yeah. I'm going to move through the shoulds. I'm going to objectively move through the shoulds.
Mhm.
And I like doing the website. It's fun to me. So I'm going to do it because I want to, not because I feel like I should be doing it right in this moment. I'm going to work on that. And then, yeah, make that better. And that feels good. Make more friends. I'm going to make more friends on the internet too.
Yeah, that's fun.
I like doing that.
Okay, cool. Okay, that's it. We will see you next week.
Yep. Jeanette, Allison out.